Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the 13th episode of the Leadership Lounge. So we continue on our three-part series of the Great Resignation. And in the first part, we focused on the shifting of mindset and what people have experienced. In the second part, we talked about from an employee perspective, and if you're going through that great reset. And today we're going to talk about how you as a manager or leader can support your team members if they're going through this mindset shift and what we're calling now the great reset. All right, so to start off, I suppose, from my perspective, I would say that even before we talk about the great resignation or the shift in mindset, I think what is extremely important is to ensure that you're building a strong and healthy relationship with your team members. That is the foundation of anything that you're going to do next in terms of whether it's supporting employees, growing them, or ensuring that they stay loyal to the organization. And if you have a strong relationship, then there is trust. And if there is trust, then there is openness. And once there is openness, and when somebody's going through a tough time, now, it could generally just be something at home, or perhaps it is something that is more personal, that they've had a rethink about, what they're doing with their life, what they're doing with their work, and how are they going to proceed in terms of what are the next steps for their career. And if you have that trust and that relationship, they'll come and they'll talk to you about what they're going through. Because whether you like it or not, where they are at, it is going to have some sort of impact on their work. There will be some impact on either motivation or the drive because of what they're going through. And during that time when they come to you, I think maintaining communication is extremely important. Regular check-ins, trying to understand what is it that is driving this. And it could be multiple factors. It could be the role, it could be organization, it could be the people, or it could be overall the work that they do and they're just looking for more purpose, for example. Whatever that is, that once you identify or you help them identify it, then I would probably say is that if it is the role or the kind of work that they're doing and they are high-performing employees that you want to retain, then understand what their strengths are. You probably already know that. Try to understand what they'd be good at, where is it that they can excel. And if you are in an organization who can find other roles or fit people in based on, I suppose, if you can find a right fit for their role, or there's an open role where you can, assign them, then do that. Because what you're doing is that you're enabling them to do the work that they want to, or they'll be good at, and you're also ensuring that your organization is not losing high potential employees. Another thing that you can do is, again, I think it's a biased view, but very important biased view, is that offer them support through getting a coach. Now, what the coach can do is that help them understand what drove this mindset shift in the first place. There are usually some triggers, and there's usually a misalignment in values. And once you assign them a coach and they can help them understand the root cause of what caused, this reset in their thinking or this shift in the first place, then they can work with the coach to understand, okay, what is next for them and where is that next step for them. You can also assign mentors. I think that, I don't think enough people have mentors in their life. It is really important to have people who you can talk to and get advice and see what the next steps are, because chances are that people who are more experienced than them have at least experienced some sort of reset in their thinking at least once in their career. And finally, I think that what is extremely important, and probably it's a much bigger topic, than we can discuss here, is about people feeling like they belong. I think that people stay in organizations where they feel that they're recognized, they're valued, of course, but they truly feel that they belong. And belongingness comes from a lot of factors. Two key things are you accepted for who you are and celebrated for it? And do you have the right people around you who can help you to support and grow and thrive in your workplace? And then ask them, what else? What does support look like for them? What is it that they need right now, today, to help them go through this period, understand what is next for them, and then decide the right course of action. Because it is the people in your team who will know the best for them, and just be there for them. Because ultimately, we're in the business of people. We might be selling products, we might be selling services, but ultimately it is done through the people. So yeah, Sophia, what do you have to say about this?
Yeah, so good. I agree with you on everything. So hello from the road trip, by the way. So how can we support the employees? If you are the manager, if you are the employer, what can you do to prevent this resignation from happening in your corner? So I would say this is really the time to bring out your leadership skill, or develop it if it's not that easy for you. But now it is time to be flexible. Now it's time to be adapting to the employees, because they will go elsewhere if you don't take care of them where they are right now. And you can do all of those things that Tasneem was just mentioning. So there are many, many ways, but one of them is, of course, to listen. What else? Just like what Tasneem said, what else? What else do you want? What else do you need? It doesn't mean that you, as a manager or employer, can, should, or want to do all of it, but at least you should listen and recognize their needs, their wishes, and then you can say, okay, let's work on it together. And there's so many, many things to say, but now it is not the moment to say my way or the highway. It's not time to say, this is our policy, this is how we do it, this is how we've always been doing it. No, now it's time for you as an employer, for you as a manager, to be flexible. And you can achieve so many things by just listening and being flexible. So start there and see what's next. You might not have the answers for everything. You and your employee can work it out together, your employees. So that's what I would like to really, really emphasize. It's time to listen. And you do that by shutting up and asking some really good questions. And what else is a good one? What else? What do you really need right now? What can make life and work life easier for you right now? How can I help you to feel more motivated? How can I help you to achieve more? What are you missing? There's so many things where you can drag out the wisdom from your employees instead of thinking that you have the answers to everything. So that's all. What else do you think, Alison?
Yeah, I love that. Absolutely. Yeah, in this time, we need to absolutely listen. And I would also say that that's basically the number one thing that we need to do as leaders, because as leaders, we're also kind of coaches for the people in our team as well. And listening is an underused skill. We so often listen subjectively. So I listen to my friends so that we can connect. And the way I connect is, they say, I'm going on holidays to Croatia in a couple of weeks. I'm so excited. And I say, oh my goodness, I've been to Croatia as well. It was so good. You have to go here, here, and here. And that's not really listening to them objectively, to listen to what's really on their mind. Listening objectively, you are 100% focused on the person in front of you. You're not thinking about how it relates to you. You just want to hear what it is that they're really saying. And intuitive listening is a step above that. So what is it that they're saying behind what is actually coming out of their mouth? What are their true needs and wants and desires? Because people leave for various reasons. It's not just because necessarily that they want to work from home all the time. It's not necessarily that they want just a pay rise and then they'll be happy. There are different things behind all of these decisions. And some of them might be fact-based, some of them might be fear-based. It's our job as a leader to help, to coach, that information out of our employees so that they feel heard and connected and like they're really respected. Because as a leader, you don't have to have all of the answers to everything. You don't have to come up with all of these flexible ideas. It is important to be flexible in these times, 100%. But, you don't have to have all the answers. That's why you employ great people, so that they can have some answers themselves as well. And they know exactly what they want. So let them give that to you and really listen. Because one of the main things that people want in the workplace that keeps them around is connectivity and being heard and represented. So it's so incredibly important that we try to connect ourselves with the people in our team by really listening and communicating, but also try to connect the people within the team. So introverts and extroverts, as humans, we all need connection. And I know quite a few people during the Great Resignation and Corona who, as soon as they could, left the company because they hadn't seen anyone in the flesh for 18 months. And so they were really missing that connection. So, try to help bring that out in the team by having lunch meetings or one day a month where everybody has to come into the office and do something together like a lunch, or encourage coffee meetings just to network with other people. Because if people are working from home, particularly women, and I say this with love because I coach emerging female leaders. And one of the things that we do need to be mindful of as leaders is that the people in our team feel represented in the wider organization. Because, a lot of women particularly think that, their work will speak for itself, when that is not always the case. If they're an aspiring career woman in an organization, a large organization, there are only so many promotions available to go around. So the people making those decisions have to know who this person is so that they can get promoted and they can get that recognition that they deserve. And so, one of my favorite quotes ever is that, the most important decisions about your career will be made when you're not in the room. So helping women in particular to really connect with the wider organization, even if they are working from home, will help them feel more connected and more visible and more seen and recognized in an organization. And they're really powerful values for a lot of people. So that is it for this week for our Great Resignation talk, our third installment of this one. I hope you all really enjoyed it. It was certainly fun for us exploring all of these different concepts. And we look forward to seeing you next time on the Leadership Lounge. And as always, if you ever want to talk about any of these topics, for instance, if you're a leader and working from home is triggering you, reach out to one of us and we can discuss, what is it about the situation that is bothering you and how you can move through that and really connect again with your team in a fun and happy and productive way. So get in touch and we look forward to seeing you next time on the Leadership Lounge.
Bye.
Bye.